Hello everyone and welcome back to Heaven's Secret, episode 8. Sammy died in the last episode, and from the first time I've played this game, I'm still not over it. I'm really heartbroken here. But anyways, the world of angels and demons is full of secrets that keep resurfacing. This episode is gonna murder me, I feel. Chapter 8, Unable to Let Go. Sammy was murdered. It felt like a nightmare. Shortly after the sun set behind the horizon, as if seeing of the angel's soul. Stand back, away. Gerald froze over the angel's body, bent down and turned it over. Sammy's arms were spread out in different directions. Get lost, there's nothing to see here. Yeah, you are not getting rid of me here. And definitely not of Addie. Everyone stood still. Away. His terrifying voice echoed around and frightened even the birds that nested in heaven's trees. Addie was on his knees. His head limply hung down like the head of a puppet without a puppeteer. Addie? I don't feel his energy. Oh, Addie! Oh no, the depression sets in. The pain, the suffering. No, my baby Addie. Get Addie out of here. Yeah, nah. Mimi and I looked at each other and obediently took the demon under his arms, trying to lift him. Addie wasn't helping at all. Did you expect him to? I literally would have left him there. But soon we managed to get him up onto his feet and somehow drag him to his room. I would have left him there and would have given him the time he needed to get up by himself. All along the way, Addie kept looking around. Every now and then, he shivered as if anticipating to see the emotionless, lifeless face of his beloved one again. Put him here. We threw Addie onto the bed and exhaustedly plopped into a chair. For a while, it was very quiet. I was shaking heavily, either because of being nervous or afraid. Oh, my child. What? He buried his face in the pillow and said something. He was murdered. Addie wanted to cry, but restrained himself, biting on his fist. His face turned red from all the tension, and his eyes teared up against his will. He hit the wall, splitting it in two. Calm down. Control yourself. Let him express his pain. Everyone deals with pain differently. I doubt he's gonna attack us, so be just happy that he doesn't attack you and that he's letting it out on something else. It's not like he's going around and killing people. He just doesn't cry, he just turns it into rage. Let him express his pain. Addie jabbed a finger at me and shook his head. You should listen more often to your girlfriend, Mimi, and stop acting like a bitch all the time. He was my friend too. But they were together. Tears flowed down Mimi's cheeks, but she nervously wiped them away. He wasn't just my friend. Period. Addie hit the wall again, and new cracks appeared. I loved Sammy more than I loved my dad. Aww. He kept punching the wall until the blood from his knuckles flooded the small cracks. Damn. Who could have done this? First the unclaimed, then Sammy? Surely it was the prisoner. Surely it was one of the angels. Surely it was one of the demons. Do we have to say it in front of him? He just managed to get a little grip. Do we have to say it here? We'll talk about this later. I looked at Addie's suffering face. Not now. Mimi nodded in understanding. Addie's quiet, slightly tortured voice was hurt. Girls, I want to be alone. My child. Ignore his request and stay. Leave, but hug before that. Leave. I'm not gonna ignore his request because, like I said, everyone deals with pain in a different way. And we have been there for him. And apparently the emotions he's feeling right now, like he said, he loved Sammy. And love is a very, very powerful emotion, and it can literally tear you up from the inside out, depending on how strong it is. And since he said he loved him more than his father, we don't know much about Addie's father or his history, etc. But the way he expressed it means that it really means that he was head over heels for Sammy. Like, he didn't just see him as his lover, his boyfriend, but he also saw him as family, his anchor, like someone he can get back to, someone that is able to like hold him steady. Sammy was able to reach Addie in a way no one else could. So that's this deep connection that nobody can replace. So if he says he needs to be alone, then I'm gonna leave him alone. But at least I want to let him know that I'm here if he needs, just if he needs a hug or something. Like, he can express his pain, he can cry with me if he wants to. Like, I'm here for him. Like, I want him to know that I respect his decision. I'm gonna respect him and leave him the space and everything he needs because I love him, I care about him, and I want him to be okay. So I'm gonna leave, as in I'm gonna accept his request, but I'm also gonna show him at the same time that I'm here for him if he needs me. Leave but hug before that, okay? You know where to find us if you need us. I climbed onto his bed, kissed him on the forehead, period, and hugged him tightly. Addie, everything will be fine. He hugged me a little lethargic, but I saw that he felt better. See? I love this. I love this so much. Thanks. The night seemed to drag on forever, and I felt unusually restless. Breakfast brought Mimi and me back to our senses. We even managed to stretch our wings a bit in the cold morning sky. We returned to the room feeling a little better than we did yesterday. I'm not. My baby Sammy is dead. In the hallway, Mimi grabbed me by the hand. What's the matter? Shh. We heard Gerald's voice behind the corner. I looked out, making sure they wouldn't notice me. Sheriff Crowley was standing next to Gerald. You understand that my visit is confidential. Of course, we don't need any more panic. I trust only you. These killings, I'll keep my thoughts to myself, but I think you understand that this is no accident. It's not safe here. Nowhere is safe. Another prisoner escaped from Satan's prison and brought with him the goblet of fire. Goblet of fire, people. I keep on going on with like a kid. I keep on going with Harry Potter. Goblet of blood? The one that was in Satan's protection. Do you think he's associated with Malbonte? Huh? I told you. Shh, quiet. I need you to keep an eye on Lucifer. See if they are somehow connected to these murders and the disappearance of the goblet. But for now, keep Lucifer away from his father. I understand, Sheriff Crowley. Mimi tugged at my sleeve. Let's go. We quietly went on to our room. The fact that they are talking about something like this in the middle of the hallway, where literally anyone could just pass by. I can't. As soon as we entered, Mimi turned to me, waving her arms emotionally. Malbonte isn't a myth. Bite me, bitch. Oh! I told you so. She froze, sat on the bed. Damn it, is Malbonte really back? I opened the closet and started sorting through the clothes. What are you doing? I'm getting ready. Today we're going to Earth. With all this commotion, no one will pay attention that I'm not here. I know the address of the hotel where my killer lived. This is an excellent opportunity to find out a little more. Are you crazy? We've just learned that Mabonte, who, by the way, is a monster that even Siva was afraid of, actually exists and may have returned. And all you could think about is some pathetic little man who cut you off on the road. Stay out of my business, Mimi. Stay out of my business, Mimi. I understand that this doesn't concern you, and you don't care. Okay, don't get all wound up. If you think that no one will notice that you're back on Earth on personal business, you're mistaken. I have no other choice. I'll risk it. Mimi grabbed my shoulder, but I freed myself. It was my life, Mimi. Mine. And someone took it from me. Once I gain my wings, I gain strength and power. I will find him. Alright, say you'll find him. Then what? And I'll hand him to the police. He killed me, I kill him. He killed me, I'll kill him. That's how things work around here. You'll be punished here for that. I couldn't care less. Simona, being a demon doesn't mean being cruel or being a killer or a thief. We maintain balance, not destroy it. Killing me was keeping balance. Since it happened, I'd say yes. Bruh. Period. Okay, if you're so stubborn. Mimi closed her eyes and sighed wearily. Angel Fencio has a lot of good stuff, like the translator that Sammy stole from him. What are you getting at? I heard about this one amulet that can hide you for a while from the all-seeing eyes of angels and demons. This means that you can safely walk on Earth without anyone finding out about your whereabouts. What does this amulet look like? It should burn with blue, black, and purple colors inside. Be careful to choose the right one. He has many other amulets. And how do I get it? If I have to steal it, there's no other way. The idea of stealing the amulet from Fencio didn't sit well with me and even scared me a little, but there were no other options. Will you help me? Fat chance. Come on, Mimi. Same. I folded my hands as if praying and pouted my lips, period. You won't leave me in my time of trouble, will you? Period. I'm a demon. I'll leave you without as much as the blink of an eye. Right, Mimi? You love me, come on. Period. Mimi rolled her eyes. Period. Okay. You love me. Stop. Are you ready? Just 1 second. I began to go through the things scattered on the bed. I'm sorry, the fact that she's going on a mission that she actually is not allowed to, and the only thing she's actually thinking about is changing her clothes. I'm sorry, have you seen this outfit? I don't like this one bit. I don't even remember why I bought this. And what is this? This is so ugly. I want this. I'm sorry. I want this. This is beautiful. Quickly bring my hair in order. Okay. Yes. Yes. As soon as I was ready, we went out into the hall. Wait here. I'll lure Angel Fencio out and you'll go into his office. Just please be careful. I'll do my best. Mimi knocked on the door and meekly entered the office. I pretended to be studious of the cracks on the column. After a couple of minutes, a somewhat nervous Fencio came out into the hall and Mimi followed him. No, really, I saw it. The inscription covering the entire wall. What good is this information if you don't know who did it? But you have to take a look. Mimi, I love Mimi. Mimi gestured for me to go in. Come on, go. Leave, run. Honestly, I'm kind of intrigued. What if I just get the wrong amulet on purpose? What's gonna happen? Fencio's office smelled of dust, sunbeams, and old books. There were books everywhere. I tripped over one of the piles and nearly flew into the closet. Damn! Period! Damn! I had to fix it so that at least at first glance everything would remain in the same places. So where are his amulets? I opened all the drawers that I saw, but couldn't find anything else besides his research notes. In the lowest drawer, I came across a stack of carefully folded letters. Looks like love letters. Read them. I pulled at the thread holding the letters together. Carefully, not to tear the paper, I opened one of the envelopes. Dear Rebecca, I'm writing hastily in one breath. My hands are shaking, so I apologize for the handwriting. My anger borders on hysteria and relief at the same time. I just had an audience with Archangel Raguel. I will be brief. As a punishment for disobeying the main rule as a C, I am being deprived of all my ranks. From now on, my destiny is to be a servile school teacher. I was ambitious, but my passion for you killed the urge for power in me. I know great things are in your future, but I have sacrificed so much. Will you give up everything to be with me? This was the last letter. Just now I noticed a small note attached to it. See of Fencio, I am returning all your letters. I'm sorry, but too much is at stake for me to give it all up for feelings. I'm sure you'll be called to sea again if you prove yourself. Sincerely, yours, Rebecca. I dropped the letters suddenly. I sat on the floor to calm my trembling knees. My mother had an affair with Fencio and abandoned him when her career was at stake. She died when I was very young. Her image in my mind was fading over the years until there was nothing left of it. Now a more realistic image began to form. And this image, as it always happens when you get to know someone better, wasn't as perfect as the one I had. You unveiled one of the mysteries you'll have to make sense of. I heard Fencio's angry voice in the distance, piercing through the everyday noise. I looked outside the door, about to run out into the hallway without finding anything. Are you making fun of me? You will not get away with this that easy. That made me skillfully burst into tears, pretending to be really upset. Instead of looking into who pulled this malicious stunt on me, you accused me of lying. She saw me watching them and quietly waved her hand. Come on, move quickly. Mimi is an icon. She's a queen. Where is Fencio hiding them? I looked around the entire office. A painting depicting a falling angel caught my eye. She's getting distracted by anything. I touched the frame and pulled it a little towards myself. The painting moved to the side. Behind it, a secret nice appeared, stuffed with books, amulets, and other trinkets. Bingo! Mimi said I needed a certain amulet. Blue, black, purple, black, red. This one. And it's also the prettiest. I think it's this one. I put the amulet in my pocket and carefully returned the painting to its former position. Then I opened the door and looked out into the hall. Fencio stood with his back to me, trying to return to his office. I dashed out into the hallway, ran around the corner, and bumped into Lucifer. Oh. I lost my balance and fell right at the demon's feet. Damn. It's actually superfluous for you to kiss my shoes. Sir. Can I slap you? Go to hell. He goes there every day. See? Oh, I will go. Don't worry. I'll live there. I got up, tidied myself, trying to hide my anxious trembling. But obviously, Lucifer noticed. What's going on? What do you mean? Don't make a fool of yourself. I can feel your anxiety. He came closer, looking carefully into my eyes. I immediately looked down so that he wouldn't be able to read something he shouldn't know. Another prisoner escaped from Satan's prison and brought with him the goblet of blood. Goblet of blood? The one that was in Satan's protection. Do you think he is associated with Malbonte? Lucifer cannot know what I was doing in Fencio's office, but he has the right to know about his father, or should I keep it to myself? Tell him about the conversation between the Seraph and Gerald. Don't tell anything. I'm intrigued to know what will happen if you don't tell him, so don't tell him anything. Got your tongue? I have nothing to say to you, Lucifer. He grinned, but there was something nervous about his smile. Fine. Lucifer walked past me, shouldering me on purpose, and went on without turning around. Hey, Simona. Mimi, thanks a lot for your help. Fencio sucked all the energy out of me. You poor, poor soul. I won't help you anymore. Too much is at stake for me. Mimi, Simona. We startled and turned around. Fencio was approaching us, and with every step his face became increasingly more severe. Go to your lesson, now. Today you have a joint lecture. Angel Fencio, sorry again. I messed up. It seemed to me that I really saw this writing on the wall. In response, he took her by the ear and dragged her after him. Oh my god, poor her. Angel Fencio. Mimi had to stand on her toes and dutifully follow him. I tried not to smile to avoid the same fate, period. As soon as we walked in, Fencio told us to sit down with a demanding gesture, and he went to his desk and began the lesson. Today you will have a pre-examination task, a sort of test. An angel or demon will be assigned to each unclaimed and will observe how he completes the task. If your curator decides that you are not ready for the exam, you will not be allowed to attend, rendering your future assignments to be as meaningless to the balance as they are now. Damn, the importance of today's assignment scared me. How do I get rid of the supervisor on Earth? Angel Fencio divided everyone into teams, and soon it was my turn. Simona and DINO. Ooh! I immediately found him amid the crowd. We love you. Curators step up to clarify the assignment. Angels and demons approached Fencio's desk. Unconsciously, I began to look for Sammy among them, but once I caught myself doing it, I tried to get his image out of my head. Sammy's gone. No one can bring him back. Get sentimental. He was such a... Oh. And yet the lump in my throat and the tears welling up in my eyes wouldn't go away. Everywhere I look, I'm searching for Sammy's kind, sunny smile. Period. I brushed away the tears so that no one would notice that I was crying. It's even harder for Addie. By the way, where is he? He was nowhere to be found. I need to go visit him. Everyone went to the vortex and began to jump, in pairs, as they were assigned. DINO silently stood behind me, but I felt his energy, and smiled turning around to him. So we're together today? Today I'm your teacher. He stood with his back to the vortex. Will you jump by yourself or with me? I'll jump with you. You are coming with me. We are a package deal. DINO's smile got bigger. He stretched his arms, letting me hug him by the waist, period. Close your eyes. Already closed. DINO leaned back. For a while, I felt weightless. I pressed closer to DINO. Don't be scared. Nah, I'm not scared. The vortex spun faster and then spat us out in a high school parking lot. I dusted off my clothes and straightened loose strands of hair. DINO landed softly like a cloud. Of course he did. Like the soft angel he is. So about your assignment. He looked around. His eyes stopped on one girl. Then he turned to another. See her? DINO pointed to a girl crying sitting alone. Oh. Yes. Her name is Nancy. And this? He pointed to another girl standing in the crowd, casting mocking glances at Nancy. That's Beatrice. Nancy is from a wealthy family. She's a bitchy and confident girl. For many years, she's been bullying and mocking and laughing at Beatrice. But today, Nancy's ex-boyfriend sent some very intimate photos of her to the entire school. She loved her boyfriend and didn't expect such a betrayal on his part. Simona, you can push Beatrice to gossip with the rest. so Nancy would know what it feels like to be the subject of a ridicule and bullying. Or you can convince Beatrice to be all forgiving, take the high road, and show kindness by supporting Nancy. The choice is yours. So I should just let her be the bigger person just because her boyfriend broke up with her. You know what that is, sir? That's karma. That's karma. The boyfriend broke up with her because she's a piece of shit. That's why he broke up with her. What exactly did she do? So what exactly did Nancy do to earn Beatrice's forgiveness? Get revenge on Nancy. She won't learn the lesson if she's sorry for her now. Nancy needs a wake-up call, period. You tell her. DINO remained on the sidelines observing me. In the Lucifer version, I'm gonna do the two complete opposites. In the first task we have, I'm gonna do the demon choice, and in this choice I'm gonna do the nice choice, just to see how it will end. I went to Beatrice. Hello. Hey. She was clearly surprised that I spoke to her. The crowd around her stepped aside. Sorry, I'm new here. Do you know what happened? To Nancy, you mean? Yeah. Nothing special. Nancy just realized that she wasn't as cool as she thought. Just an ordinary whore. Woo! For some reason, it seemed to me that Beatrice wasn't used to this kind of language. The last word sounded very awkward. Oh yeah, I heard. She bullied you so much. Beatrice was enraged. Who told you? Everyone's saying it. Either her nerves on her anger made her tremble, or her nerves made her tremble. Nancy always laughed at me. She was gossiping behind my back. She would make me trip in front of everyone. She deserves everything that happens to her now. Yeah, she does. This is your chance to get revenge. Revenge? Of course, let Nancy learn what it feels like to be in your shoes. This is called karma, bitches. This is karma. You treat me like shit. This is what you get. Like, you're not better than me. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but at least I'm a decent human being. I don't know. I touched Beatrice's shoulder and looked into her eyes. You want this. More than anything. Beatrice covered her mouth with her hand, embarrassed by her outburst. It's not like that, but I often imagine putting her into her place. So what are you waiting for? Or do you want to miss your chance? Evil deed. This is karma. This has nothing to do with evil deed. Beatrice turned around and watched her rival cry for some time. Nancy noticed her look, took her hands off her face, and rudely barked at her. Period. What are you looking at? Is this amusing for you, huh? Is this funny? Very much. You laughed at me without knowing that you are the pathetic one. Many school children heard Beatrice's speech and now looked with interest at us. I wouldn't talk to me ever again if I were you, otherwise I'll use these pictures to shut you up. Someone laughed and someone whistled cheerfully. It was Beatrice's moment of glory. She switched places with her tormentor and is unlikely to allow herself to be humiliated again. Nancy listened to her silently as if she understood that Beatrice had reason to talk to her like that. And then she got up and ran away, ignoring the harsh words addressed to her. I, too, quietly retreated, leaving Beatrice to enjoy her moment of glory. I returned to DINO. So how did I do? Not bad, but the task wasn't difficult. Let's discuss everything back at school. Yeah, not gonna happen. Damn, I need to go to the hotel to find out about my killer. What do I do? Nah, I'm gonna tell the truth. Why should I lie? Why? DINO, I have things to do here on Earth. Let me guess, you want to further investigate your murder? I feel I'm about to make a breakthrough. You're crazy. Thank you. Path of high glory. You've got such opportunities and perspectives. Your mother's blood is running through your veins, the only seraph born of man. Dino looked really worried. I see potential in you. Dino, I love you too. The fact he's so worried about us and you're ready to throw it all away because of some bastard who cut you off on the road. Sir, I get what he means. Like, even if we find our killer, we will never be able to return to Earth, like we are dead. But for a person whose life has been cut short because we literally have been murdered, we don't know for what reason, we just want closure. The second we have closure, we will be able to move on. This wasn't an accident. Someone planned my murder. Who cares? You're dead. It can no longer be fixed. Like, literally, these two are going at each other for the reasons I just mentioned. He took my hands, trying to break through to my heart. Oh. They expect a lot from you, Simona. But if you break the law of non-interfering with your old life, even your reputation won't save you from expulsion. Oh! Yeah, because I have a high glory. I don't care. I took the amulet out of my pocket and waved it in front of Dino. This thing will hide me from the all-seeing school administration. No one will know what I'm doing. Where did you get this? From your father. Dino grabbed the hand that held the amulet. You're stealing from my father without as much as being ashamed? I am ashamed, very much so, but there's no other way. I clicked on the amulet and it lit up brighter. Sorry, but I don't have much time. I'm coming with you. I don't want you to do anything stupid. And how are you gonna cover your tracks? Are you gonna wear it with me? Actually, I was calmer with Dino around, but I didn't show it. As you wish. Yeah, come with me, why not? Hotel Aphrodite, weirdly enough, was not far from my house. The killer deliberately chose it. Hi there, would you like to rent a room? We'd like to know about a person who stayed here. Sorry, I can give out this kind of information. I couldn't resist and rolled my eyes. Come up with a tearful story. The thing is, it's my uncle. He's gone missing. I need to find him. Mom is desperate and his kids are left all alone. Damn. I'm sorry, I think you need to contact the police. But you can help me now. Oh, my poor uncle. I tumbled onto the counter, imitating bitter sobs. I cannot. Dana gently but decidedly pushed me aside and took control of the situation. This is so funny. What's the name of the person you're looking for? Amy D. Laurent. Dinah touched the registration desk. Through it influenced the receptionist. Which room did Amy D. Laurent stay in? The receptionist immediately checked his computer. 315. He started and became nervous. I don't know why I did this. How long did he stay at this hotel? One night. The key to his room, please. The police were already here. They didn't find anything. This is a respectable establishment. Keys, please. As if against his will, which was the case, in fact, the receptionist gave them to Dino. Thanks, you can relax, but keep your mouth shut, okay? Dino said, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Love this. How did you manage to influence people that easily? Training. Period. Training makes perfect. How do you do anything in life? With discipline and practice. Training. It's the same with his wings. Like, he has been training nonstop because of all the pressure his father is putting on him. We went up to his room. I don't know what I was hoping to find here. The killer is long gone, and room service wiped everything clean. I walked around the room without looking at anything in particular. Nonsense. Gerald taught us to read energy, or did you forget? This Amy D spent a night here. Same as hundreds more did. You only need to pay attention to the most recent traces of energy. Then, When you meet the killer, you'll recognize him. Dino came up to me, turned me around, holding me by the waist. Alright, close your eyes. Dino, do you really think that? Close them. Alright. I'm feeling it. Sorry. Now imagine that you're a blossoming bud with your own unique aroma. Imagine how your scent spreads throughout the room, how it blends in with the rest of the smells. These smells are energy. Remember them. Dino kept talking, and every word he spoke soon became reality. I can feel it. Good girl. Now list them. It smells like hibiscus, sweet lemon, burnt popcorn. Oh, so it smells like the sea wildland, mint wind. Mint wind? Dino pulled back sharply. What's the matter? For a while, he looked at me attentively. Then he shook his head as if trying to get rid of his own thoughts. Nothing, just an interesting way to describe it. It's a dead end after all. I fell onto the bed, spread my arms, and stared at the ceiling. You know, seeking revenge can rot even an immortal soul. You need to forget that you ever lived on Earth. Didn't they give you the oblivion powder? I kept staring at the ceiling, barely listening to what Dino said. A sense of powerlessness and failure washed over me. Do you hear me? Dino came up to the bed and squatted. Hello. Let me stop. His face was very close to mine. Are you crying? He carefully brushed away a rolling tear from my cheek. Don't cry. Aww. Dino's lips touched me lightly, but then he pulled away. Huh? He leaned over me, not daring to continue and not finding the strength to stop. Whispering. Right, Dino. You first move close to me, get me high, and then you drop my ass. Like, sir. At this point, just stop. We can't. I don't give a damn about the band, period. I wrapped my arms around his neck and pulled him towards me. As soon as our lips met again, Dino pressed closer to me and began to kiss me passionately, giving in to his feelings, as if we could get caught at any moment. Which was true. I don't want you to have problems. Sir, I think you are gonna be the ones with bigger problems if you ask me. But even if, I'm gonna accept any sort of punishment, like love is worth dying for. What is life without love? He said this without pulling away from me. His hands ran all over my body with undisguised lust. Shut up, I know what I'm getting into, period. Not the horse around. What are you doing to me? We began to undress quickly and nervously anxious to feel each other's bodies. I can't with the hair, but it suits him though. He looks so good. Dino's hot lips made their way between my breasts, then a little lower to my stomach. In one sharp movement, he tore off my panties and threw them somewhere in the corner. He spread my legs, but hesitated again. Do you really want this? His hand stroked my knees, then slid down along the inside of my thigh. Every touch of his fingers made me arc. Please. You're ruining me. Nah, you've been ruined. You've been ruined the second you met me. Like, you have that desire, that devilishness inside of you, sir. I just helped you bring it out. He slowly pushed himself inside me, squeezing my hips. I arced closer to him. A moan escaped from my lips. Come here. Dino laid on top of me with his entire body and began to move faster. We interlocked our hands. We kept kissing without coming up for air. His scent, his muscular chest laying on top of me in bed. This forbidden proximity, all this drove me crazy. Dino? After a while, we lay back on the pillows and gazed into each other's eyes. He stroked my cheek, but a sudden thought made the smile on his face disappear, and he removed his hand. We have to keep this a secret. Do you understand me? Yes. Yes, perhaps. Dino got out of bed and gathered the scattered clothes. We dressed in silence. Once we were ready, Dino summoned the vortex. I think it's better if I take the amulet. I'll put it back without my father ever finding out it was gone. Great, thanks. Thanks for everything. Nonsense, but be careful, please. No, don't worry, I'm gonna be careful. We were called to class earlier than usual. Angel Fencio stood in the center of the classroom looking at all those present. Your examination will take place today in the afternoon. You will be paired with the most experienced students in the academy. You will be rivals. If your curator is a demon, your task will be to persuade a person to take the angel's side and vice versa. In the end, the curator will assess your readiness for more pressing tasks. I looked around at all the angels and demons. My eyes stopped on Mimi, Lucifer, Dino, Addie. Why Addie? Nah, this is the Dino Rude. This is the Dino Rude on Dino. Dino stood quietly staring somewhere in front of him. He looked calm and awfully collected. Addie stood in the back. He looked depressed, tormented by pain, and yet he was able to find the strength in himself to leave the room. You managed to calm and support Addie at the right moment, and now he's here. Period. Whispering, Hey, Addie. Aww. How are you? In response, Addie shook his head. But I'm feeling better. Aww. I'm sorry. I love them. Why did they take Sammy away from me? I'm sad. All this time, Fencio called out the names of the unclaimed and those of their exam partners. When the turn came to me and my curator, everyone whispered and I unknowingly jumped up from the table. With Lucifer? Lucifer was no less surprised than me. He even straightened up and looked away from the window. Ooh, that's new. But she will fail the exam. She's a noob. Period, Lucifer. This is final. Are you flunking her, father? Oh, Dino is so not having her. He's not having it. Look at the devilish smile. He is way too cruel for an angel. Okay, so this was I cannot. This was another great episode, and I was living like the father. I have a feeling that the father sensed that we are getting too close for his liking to his son. So he said, yeah, I'm gonna flunk her so much. I'm gonna make her fail so that she's gonna feel miserable. Well, that was it for today, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.